Hey everybody, it's Tammy with stampwithtammy.com. Sorry I'm running a couple minutes late. You know how it goes. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I've been trying to catch up. Let's see. I'm going to wait for just a few minutes. Is it crooked? It is sideways, isn't it? Hold on, let me switch my camera around. If you're on, close your eyes if you get dizzy. Okay. Is that better? I need to get a better camera holder, so I apologize. Okay, if you're on, be sure you say hello. Still feels crooked. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, guys. So sorry. Okay, I think that's good. I'll wait just a minute or two to let everyone get on, and then we'll get started. How are you guys today? I'm doing really well. I had to go see a dermatologist. I had a mole that was changing appearance and growing. So I wanted to get that checked out, but it was all good. She did find a precancerous spot on my forehead, but she burned that off, so it's all good. All right, let's get started. We have 4 just off-the-wall cards that I just came up with. No theme. Our first one is to watch that. So we're using Peach Pie cardstock. And you need a piece of 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, to form your basic card. And then I'm going to actually use this. Okay, and then you're going to need a piece of basic black, 5 1/4 by 4. And then another piece of peach pie, and it is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I embossed it with the eyelet bloom die. Let me show you how to do that. I'm not going to actually do it because I don't want to bring my big shot over here. So the stack is your number 1 platform, the number 2 plate, and then you're going to lay your die face up. So this is the cutting side. Just like that, and then you'll put your cardstock on top. The new impressions plate, it'll be in the new catalog available May 5th. You lay that on top, and then the number 4 plate. And then you just run that through your big shot, and voila, you have an embossed piece. And let's get started. Oh, you'll need, let's see, a piece of basic white for the inside, 5 1/4 by 4. Another piece of basic black, 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then a basic white piece that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, but I've cut it with the Stylish Shapes dies. So let's start by stamping the inside. I'm using Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And hey Anne, how are you? And I'm just going to stamp these up the corner, just for a little bit on the inside. I'm going to use my liquid glue today. And then this goes on the inside of your card. Like that, and then we're going to layer the embossed piece onto the basic black. like that. Oops. Not just like that. Okay, that's better, huh? And then this goes on the card front. Now, if you place an order of $50 or more, you'll get the whole card packet. You'll get one thing of each. I only have so much of the peach pie cardstock left, so you may end up with a different color, and I apologize for that, but okay, now we're going to stamp. I've placed both stamps on one block. It's the little birds and then just a hello. For me, it's just easier to place it that way, and I'm just going to ink it up in my tuxedo black and then stamp in the middle. If you're worried about stamping straight, you can always stamp first and then cut. That's probably what I would tell you to do, but... And now we're going to use Peach Pie and Shy Shamrock Stampin' Blends to color it in. Well, let me grab my glasses. All right, so we have, let's see, we're going to use the dark Peach Pie to just color in, just to give it a little bit of dimension. The little beaks and the wings, and his little tail. And for this, I was using the bullet point, so hopefully you can see that. I'm not leaning over. Hey, Laura. And then we're going to color in the rest of the little birds. You can still get the Stampin' Blends and some of the outgoing ink colors. I think all the re-inkers are sold out, and a lot of them are on sale, so check out the last chance list. And then I'm just going to use the dark just to squiggle in the grass. Just like that. And then I'm just going to glue him onto the basic black. I've missed you, Laura. I hope everything's going well out there in the Midwest. All those grandkids. Actually, how many do you have now? And then I'm going to pop this up on the card front with Stampin' Dimensionals. And then just place that right here. And I'm going to use the pressed flower motifs to add a little bling. Just like that. Okay, and there's card number 1. With the cutest crew. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. For some reason, I can't see your comments on my computer, so if I don't catch them as you're saying them, I'll go back and answer them after the video. Let's see. Card number 2 is pretty simple. We're using the Nature's Symphony die, and this die and sentiment from Words of Beauty. And then the designer paper is the Thoughtful Journey 6x6. Hi, Brenda. So this one is super simple. You have a piece of Summer, oh my gosh, what's it called? Summer Splash, my head. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just your normal card front. And then you're going to have 2 pieces of basic white. Both are 4 by 5 1/4. One is for the inside, one is for the front. And then your piece of designer series paper is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we're just going to glue all this together real quick. So this goes onto your piece of basic white. It just gives it a border and it makes it pop out a little more. And then you're going to want to put it on your card front the right direction. Two grandbabies. I'm waiting, patiently, but waiting. Okay, so we're going to glue this down onto here. I'm just going to put a few dots. You just want them to stay in place. But you don't need to cover the back of it. And then I'm just going to put just wherever you like. This glue dries clear, so if you move it around, it's okay. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. And we're going to use the Summer Splash ink pad. Again, these are all on last chance, so if you like them, hurry on over. And with stamps that are bigger like this, I like to lay them down and place the ink pad on top of it like that. It's just easier for me. And then I'm just going to stamp this in the bottom right corner. Just press down. And there you have that. And then this is going to go on the inside. I know a lot of you are probably surprised, a little bit of stamping on the inside. I don't do that often, although I am trying to get better about it. It's, Laura, it's the, oh gosh, the liquid glue Stampin' Up! That we sell, the green glue. I can't find the original holder, but I just stick it into this. You can get it on Amazon. And it's just got a smaller tip and it's easier to squeeze for me. So that's what I use. But it's just regular old Stampin' Up! Glue. The item number is 110755. Don't be impressed though, that's the only item number I know. Okay, so this piece of Summer Splash is 3 7/8 by 5/8, I believe. Let me check my notes. Yeah, 3 7/8 by 5/8. And then you'll have a piece of white, and usually you'll stamp first and then cut it out using the Words of Beauty die, but I didn't want to bring my Big Shot over, so I'm just going to stamp. These days it's super easy to just stamp on because everything's clear now. I'm going to put my ink away. And then this just goes onto the front. Just like that. And then I'm using these, they are called Sparkle Dot Essentials. Unfortunately, they are not available anymore. So you'll get a substitute if you place an order and want the card pack, but I'll find something that looks just as good. So there's card number 2. Yay! All right. And then card number 3 is a nice masculine card. It uses the product of the month from March, the Notes of Spring, which is still available, free with a, or I'm sorry, it's $5 with a $75 order. This is the card we're going to make, and this is the Brushed with Beauty Designer Series paper. We're stamping on Very Vanilla and using Early Espresso. And look, stamping on the inside again. So let me give you the directions. Crumb cake cardstock for your card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then a piece of Very Vanilla, 4 1/4. I'm sorry, no, 5 1/4 by 4. Let me see. Anne asked, do you have For the eyelet die, yes, I've read a lot. I haven't used it a whole lot other than for the embossing, but I did read somewhere that if you lay the die down, cutting side up, and then put your cardstock on top of it, that will, it will cut a little easier. And then it should be easier to get out. If not, I just use one of the take your pick tools, the Sharpie point end, and just kind of pry it out. Okay, so for the inside, I'm using the little grass, and I'm just going to stamp twice before I re-ink it, just like that. That eyelet die has so many, it's just so detailed that it does take, you know, I would run it through twice as well, through your Big Shot, just because it's just so detailed. Okay, so we have 3 strips of the Brush with Beauty cardstock, or a designer series paper. These are each 4.5 by 1 inch. And so I'm going to start in the middle. I'm just going to add some glue. And then, for me, I like to turn it sideways. So you want it in the middle from top to bottom and from the side to side. And it, you know, it's not, you don't have to worry about it too much, getting it perfect. Although that is crooked. Let's see. And then I'm just going to put one on this side. And then one on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to glue down. This is an early espresso circle that I've cut out from the Stylish Shapes dies. And I'm just going to glue that down right in the center. And I'm actually putting it up a little higher than the center. Okay, now I've cut out a banner from the Nested Essentials, the largest banner that's in the stamp set. And we are going to stamp first the happiest birthday wishes from the stamp set. Just going to do it towards the bottom, and then we're going to stamp the outline of the deer. And then we're going to put the early espresso away and pull out my crumb cake. I had to write crumb cake on here. The label for it turned kind of a green color, and look on the edge, it looks almost like pool party, but it's crumb cake. I don't know why it faded like that. Okay, now I'm going to use the inside of the deer. This is a 2-step stamping. And I wanted it to be kind of light, so I'm going to stamp off and then stamp right in the center, just like that. Trying to get the lid on my glue. And then this I'm going to put up, pop up on dimensionals. You guys should see my desk after these classes. It's hilarious. Just going to kind of center it on the circle. And then I'm going to use some linen thread, and I'm just going to tie a bow. I'm going to try to. I'm not known for my bow making skills, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, see you later, Laura. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so here I have a little bow, and I'm going to use mini glue dots to attach it. So I just pull the paper back. I actually put the bow right onto the mini glue dot, and it comes off. And then this is just going to go to the side here. So there you have it. Just like that. Oh, I got some smears on there. Let me show you the good one. Here's the good one. All right, here we go. One more card. Oh, I better put everything away. Hold on. Okay, so this last card is probably my favorite. I love red and black together, and I love ladybugs. So this really makes for a cute card. We've used the Ladybug Picnic 3D embossing folder and the Springtime Scenes stamp set. Let me show you. Oh, maybe not. So this is a stamp set. It's so pretty, and it's got dies to match just about everything. It's really, really cool. So let's get started. Your card base is, can you guess? 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. And then you have, sorry, I'm trying to get it all out. So here's your card base. It's just basic white thick, which is literally my favorite card base. That's what I use almost for everything. And then a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 basic black. Oh, sorry, I just hit my camera. And then this is going on the front of the card. Boy, I am having all kinds of difficulties with the camera today, aren't I? Okay, and then you need a piece of basic black that is 3 7/8 by 1 inch. This is going to be for your sentiment strip. And then you need a piece of basic white that is 1.5 by 3 7/8, and I'll show you why it's thicker. We're going to cut it down. I just have 2 of those in case I screw it up. And then a piece of basic white that is 3 by 3.5, and that's what you're going to stamp on. And then a piece of the Real Red 2-tone cardstock. This is, so I don't know if you can tell. Let me see. So here's a scrap of it. This is the lighter side, and this is the darker side. So it's kind of cool, and it's got a white core. So when you emboss it, this one's already embossed. I want to show you though, you want to, so this is the rough side. The images are raised, and then this is the indented side. So you want to make sure that whatever side you want showing is facing up. And that way your raised images will be on the color you want. And then what I'm going to do is use, I have just a little sanding block I got on Amazon, probably for nail class or something. And I'm just going to rub it along the, just lightly. It doesn't take a whole lot of force or anything. And then you see how it picks up just the white from the raised images. Just like that. It's really cute. I like this embossing folder a lot. So I'm just going to adhere that. And this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, so that it has just a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch around. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to use 3 of the stamps. We're going to use the leaf and the ladybug, which I can't find. Oh, here she is. The ladybug, and then a sentiment. So first, let's stamp. Where's my? I can't find my cardstock. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is 3 by 3.5. Just a scrap. Use whatever you have on hand. Just a scrap of basic white, because you're going to cut everything out with dye. I'm using Granny Apple Green ink and this big bold leaf. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. And then I'm going to use the Memento ink, which is going out. It's on sale now, so run get you some. I really like it. We have a new hybrid black coming. I haven't used it at all yet, but I will be showing it to you in the coming weeks. And I'm going to stamp 2 of the ladybugs. And then let's put the black ink away. And then on this piece, I'm going to stamp in Real Red ink the sentiment. Now I want to stamp it towards the left of the cardstock and towards the top. Just like that. And then I'm going to show you how to cut it here in 1 second. So let's put the ink away. And then I'm using Real Red and Basic Black Stamp and Blends. And I'm also going to use the Wink of Stella. We'll do that one first so that it has time to dry before. Now, as you're squeezing your Wink of Stella, I always tell people to squeeze it out on a scrap piece of paper, because if you've used Wink of Stella, sometimes it comes out in big clumps. Well, sometimes it doesn't come out at all. So I'm just going to color around, and if it runs a little because the ink is, you know, a dye ink, don't worry about it. Just let it run. Okay, there you have sparkle. I don't know if you can see it. And then we're going to use Basic Black for the little spots. You know, you could color your ladybugs whatever color you want. Sometimes they're orange, aren't they? But I like red and black together, so. Nothing fancy on the coloring, just straight. And on this one, you could do it either, I do the black first, and then when I'm coloring the red, it doesn't really matter if I, you know, get outside the lines, because you can't see it because the black is there. It's really hard when you're coloring on camera because you really want to stick your head down in it. Okay, and then I think it might be time for a new Real Red Stamp and Blend. Okay, there we have it. And we're going to cut this out with the dies. And I threw my... So there you have them. Cut out, colored, everything. Okay, so now we're going to cut the sentiment. So you pull out your thing, and we want this to be 7/8 of an inch for the most part, okay? So I'm going to line it up over here at 7/8. And then I'm going to hold it very carefully. And I'm going to cut it. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm going to cut it right to the edge of the Y that's hanging down. Just like that. And then you can flip it up and cut right there. So I've just cut underneath it, but I don't want to cut out the Y because it's thicker. And so then I will take my snips and then cut out around the Y. Just like that. Okay, and then we're just going to glue this to the black. And then this is going to go onto our cardstock, our card base. And then we have our leaf. And this leaf I did not color with the Wink of Stella, but I'm going to leave it just to see how it looks. And then we're going to do one little ladybug, like that. And then the other ladybug, I'm going to pop up with Stampin' Dimensionals. Do you guys love Stampin' Dimensionals like I do? I make very few cards without it. Just like that. And there you have it, card number 4. Again, if you place an order on my website between now and Monday at midnight, you'll get a card packet of all the card stock and everything, and all the dies cut out. No stamping, sorry. So like these, I probably won't cut out for you in case you don't have this particular stamp set. You can use whatever you have. I will emboss. I'll emboss and die cut everything for you. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you later. Have a great day.